hopefully he has something pretty good here with this Gecko on this map. If not, everything else compositionally wise, I think on paper looks much better than NBG, and we might have to think about Sunset for NBG coming up next.
Well, see what we get here. Opening play starting to develop a little bit over towards B, only marginally so at B main. A little bit of noise over towards A at the same time, while this walk down at mid stairs is going to allow an angle for Thief to work off of. So again, lots of questions, I think, like you mentioned. I think for YFP, a lot of it is, can you get early reads, right? Like, you don't really have the information gathering tools that NBG has. So there's a level of, again, predictability that's going to have to be there. Yeah, for YFP to find value on this setup, you'd think.
I mean, you're already seeing it from NBG, right? With the comp that they have, they can't really scale as well towards middle. You're always going to have to like jump peek too at the very beginning if you don't have a dart up. So this is very difficult. Maybe the knife's going to help a little bit more, but at least so far, they've done a good job pushing YFP back to try to go for a split into A.
Oh, and Jake also connects for first blood. Screwface trying to battle back, but not going to be allowed to. Split focus on the way with a Link now being the new threat for Son of Car, who almost finds two, but Jake could snap, responds, gets the trade, and forces NBG to B.
Even throws out a Gecko eye through the window to see that nobody's there, so they can fast rotate towards B. If anything, Jake did a great job with the drop smokes.
Oof, B-Dog, rare misses with the Sheriff there. Opens the door for a plant to come on in. Weeded just gonna wait, has a haunt available for when they do eventually want to try to hit this retake, but I love this little scale to B elbow. Stellar gonna see the paranoia come across, but the elevation play not gonna work out. So now numbers start to develop for NBG. Good fragment. Thinking about the knife, that'll get sent and will reveal. You hear the footsteps coming through. Shot from Kumi is gonna hit. Shock dart not. Suppression about to expire, but not gonna make much of a difference. Weeded only has the classic to work with here. Just gonna come down to the double swing. We're just gonna jump it, we're gonna peek it, and eventually the play will be made. Weeded knows he's got to try to make this happen. Both players stacked on top of each other, and Nightblood bounced back after dropping first blood to get the pistol.
Even great shots coming through from, again, Jakey with the drop smokes to get that first blood on that side. Even though they traded through and had a player's advantage on the side of YFP, it's the fast rotate towards the end, towards that B site. That, yeah, I think it could have been a different fight moving forward here with B-Dog getting caught out in the open the way that he did with the Sheriff. Couldn't really get a relay bull out. I think it's because, you know, he couldn't land his shots and he was trying to just readjust and just got picked off. And that just opens up everything when there's nobody really set up to trade off each other on the side of YFP. So just pure shooting coming out from Nightblood Gaming, able to convert the pistol round. And that's a little bit of a change. The knife, yes, it's going to spot two, but not necessarily knowing where those opponents are at. It's YFP 4-player walking down.
Oh boy, the dark cover. Sure face. Wow, really good Dizzy behind that, but Noted is the one who rips everything apart. As a decent effort for YFP. You saw the timing with the Gecko. Looked good, but too many numbers there. And now it's just on to Thief with the Headhunter. Only has a couple of shots with it as well on top of that. So not good news here for him. You hear the footsteps though, and maybe there's a chance for Thief to get something and make this bonus a little less formidable. First shot lands, last one will not, and yeah, the switch timing of getting the classic up not going to happen, and then BG hit the expected second.
And that was what free util being utilized towards middle though to try to get the picks here and the flood. It worked out for a little bit of a damage, but also in the end dropping 3 players in the process for YFP, so it's not too bad. The side of NBG, though, the last 2 rounds, you're starting to see how it works a little bit, right? The double initiator util to look back towards middle. They separate themselves on kind of like a 1-3-1 kind of thing. So I think because they're also not playing any sentinels on their side for NBG, this would be a perfect opportunity for Thief to hold aggressive lines, play the 1v1s on these extremities, and just make sure that they lock down that area so that NBG will have to always keep a player back. And it allows gaps to open up for YFP to explode a little bit on the defensive side because of the lack of a sentinel player to hold like the aggressive information.
Gotta go.
It goes again.
Yep.
Extremity control back to a 1-3-1. YFP is just ready for that right now. The Prowler's not going to see too much yet, but I mean, they're still in prime position.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Nightblood just gonna kind of run through the smoke, trade things out 1 for 1, but Jake falling means the smoke ability of YFP is now in question. Not dead yet is noted, trying to make their way back into the play and up and over. Stellar almost caught with the mosh out, but Thief saves a life.
Through smoke.
So, yeah, we'll get the 3v2. Kuma's gonna upgrade a weapon, and the spam shots connect. Oh, mercy my. How about that? Again, another situation you think YFP have the edge, and Nightblood from the brink just take it on back. The only thing that's different here, though, is the quick timing of this route from B-Dog. Does not see Kumi. Do you check your corner fully? You sure do. No trade, as Kumi's just gonna go ahead and set the clock to their advantage playing for the plant.
Huge health advantage for YFP, but Kumi does have a flash to work with. He can flash TP, find a different position, and actually TP's out to the entrance. I kind of like that.
Patience now. B-Dog has to clear every single angle. This is going to take time. This is taking maybe too much time. You still haven't even looked inside the B site yet. If you're B-Dog, and I get it, you need to check every corner, but this is a huge advantage now to Kumi. There's just so much you have to clear. Relay bolt out. There's the slide, but Kumi is in a perfect spot to get the read. And Nightblood win the bonus and go 3-0 up immediately.
Didn't have to use it paranoia on top of that on a 1-1. And I feel there's a little bit of a mistake that happened there for YFP. They have numbers advantage. Trades are perfect at the very beginning here on middle, but Thief kind of like just overextended and really wanted to win this fight instead of trying to TP away and hold an angle. Because as much, the more he could delay on top of middle, the more value that B-Dog has on that push. And now finally he gets a backstep kill, and NBG has now the read that they are trying to go for these aggressive late round pushes.
And now right off the get-go of round 4, the Outlaw does the job it's meant to do and do what is largely just pistol upgrades for YFP. So off to the races here is Nightblood. I think you're right, you know, just to kind of throw the spark notes on this. It's like YFP have had advantages, just have not been able to hold them. And that's partially due to the way Corrode is set up, where all these walls are just so thin. But still, it's just, you get what you came for, get out of there, especially in that last round. So not the start YFP want.
And the other thing that's annoying too is a Jet on an op or an Outlaw just holding back towards spawn. I had that in my 5 stacks yesterday, and I was getting so pissed off playing against a double duelist with a Jet still holding spawn with a sniper.
That's fair.
And it's fair game because it's such a good weapon on this map. Zelsa's got so much value with the operator as well, playing as a Vice, to just stay back and not try to find the openings. Now you move it as a group, it's perfect for the openers. I mean, it's all anti-ecos on top of that, but you're getting away with a flawless. You're in a comfortable lead after 4 rounds.
Yeah, very much so. Well, somehow Thief has taken no damage from all of this spam, but may not make much of a difference. Screwface gonna push up, and that will do it. Flawless round for Nightblood, 4-0. And the thing about it is, considering that we're going into round 5, the ultimates you'd like to start seeing being close to earn for YFP are nowhere near. Thrash is only halfway, Costello is 0-4. The Overdrive's not even really all that close, as B-Dog's only 1-4. It's just a little bit of a kill diff right now between Nightblood and YFP.
Yeah. And that looks like the buy for the Outlaw was just to go on an anti-eco. Look at Son of Carl already with a Phantom going into this round. And all grouped up here towards this B site. You talked about no ults available for YFP's end, but this null command could open up this B site here. If it does get that ping, then that turret is not going to see anything at all towards B main.
Well, the null command's going to be spent here for Nightblood. It's just going to be the single potential shot for Thief, but that doesn't hit. He's pushed off the angle. Plant's going to be in the mix. Hunter Sphere going to be called in just as a way to try to establish the zone of control here so no one can challenge. No tags by the look of it from that, but still hard pretense to figure how YFP break back into the site. Fragment to hold. Kumi up top. Oh, not prepared for that quick action from Jake. So now numbers for YFP. Smiley, hard holding an angle. Son of Car, what is this little step up? Also here is the teleport, so knows there's someone nearby, but Jake quickly for the trade. Follow up from Smiley, good. Back and forth we go until Noted has the last 2 in his eyes and is able to snap to connect for both headshots to put Nightblood on to 5.
And note this time, a player you have to keep an eye out on for sure. in the past few weeks as well, has been playing awesome. And again, I think this is just very simple Valorant executions coming out here from Nightblood Gaming. The KO ult does get enough in enough range here to get that ping onto Thief. The trademark gets 0 value towards B main. Everybody can move inside that site and even push towards elbow, because nobody's really playing top heaven. Nobody's holding elbow on defensive side. So now those smokes are starting to come into fruition, and it's just clean.
Yep, knives out early now for Son of Car. Whoa, nice shots from B-Dog, but the trades are better, and the stack up you thought maybe was going to be an issue, but not the case. Now you've got the pick-me-up. Everyone's going to get back to now on their way to B. Stellar shuts down the teleport scout. Recon bolt not going to fully reveal, so Stellar can stay inside the site. And meanwhile, Thief is going to take away the possible rotate through mid as he steps a little bit deeper up.
Doesn't have a trademark though, so he can't escape anywhere. So he's pretty much in a one and done. And so far, everybody from NBG's walking. So this is a huge question mark. Are they still back towards B? Are they rotating towards the A side through spawn? So all this is just going to have them keep guessing and potentially even second guess their position. Look at now, at that minute mark, not knowing what's happening so far, they group up towards A side. What does that do? It leaves A side open. So as you make noise for NBG towards this A side, Note could get inserted on middle and start walking up. So you have to be clean on your shots here for both players over on the A side.
Yeah. Well, smoke is down. Spam from Jake, not going to land. Thief, you're the next one up.
30 seconds left.
Good angle of approach here. Played the counter flash perfectly. Screw only will find the first. So now it's just down to Note for the 1v2 and pretty far away. But maybe a chance to isolate because Thief is right around the corner. And all it takes is one toe tap to win that battle out. Here's the footsteps. Good damage from Thief. There's the smoke. Now trying to play for the plant. Stellar doesn't hop into it initially, but still finds the kill. Now we get back into play again. Not dead yet. Up and over around the smoke. Tries to finesse the mechanics of it, but no, the animation takes a little too long, and Stellar gets YFP on the board.
That would have been so insane if he actually got that one towards the end. But I love here that YFP did a little bit of what Sunakar did on that previous round. Just play on the edges, the extremities of the smoke, set up that crossfire, and they get, what, 3 for 2, which is huge here. Leaving on a 1v1 towards the end for the Stellar masterclass on that 1v1 to be able to win that against Note. That said, I must say again, it stays very, very simple for NBG. They're not really trying to break the map or break the playbook or anything like that either. You're just leveraging pure buddy systems on these trades and trying to get good value out of it. I was talking about that. The idea here of trying to move forward and get some map control with the op and try to work against the extremities. But again, it's a jet op on the spawn.
Yeah, trades are decent. Numbers advantage for NBG 4v3. Stellar has the Thrash available and is playing a pretty safe position back at elbow. But Sunakar is able to clear a little bit of that early position. B-Dog hearing a lot of footsteps. And they set something up here. There's, wow, beautiful relay. And then you're gonna get a follow-up that's perfect from the Nightfall. Brilliant stuff from B-Dog, who's not done yet. 4 in the round and 2 in a row. That's brilliant stuff for YFP.
That's a huge combo that worked out here on the side of YFP for the stall over on that A side, especially after losing Thief so early into that round. And when you're looking at it, they're not giving the up over to Thief before we go into this replay. Looks like B-Dog wants to go set that up towards that B side. Maybe leverage Thief to just play util rifle and stall here towards A anyways. But yeah, look at that. It was just a nice, beautiful slide off the concuss and Nightfall too. And there's that push back on middle to control that area. They could heavily focus 4 players down that side because you still have that trip that doesn't really get contested here at the beginning of the rounds on the side of YFP. Sorry, on the side of Nightblood Gaming.
There we go. Opening information gathering, pretty decent. Mosh being held. YFP feeling the pressure. Paranoia also kind of cuts through that. And honestly, NBG's like, all right, we'll just let that utility get expended and then change the focus of the minute 5 on the clock still.
That's just Kumi with 2 TPs that wastes out all of that utility.
Here.
But the rotate's still very, very long. As they made a lot of noise, nobody was really inserted up. Like I said, they never really broke that trip on that side of the A site, so YFP's great on the rotate.
Now trades are good for Nightblood again. 3v3, back to the action once more onto A. Pardon me, 4v3. B-Dog, do you have any more antics available at this playthrough mid? Well, okay.
Good thing we got off the camera on that one.
I was going to say, all the time to switch, but kill comes through regardless. We did able to really find one from the front. Quickly scrambling back to Screwface. Dizzy out. YFP trying to clear out A. You have the wingman back into play. You can still try to hold this, especially with Weeded on the corner. Reveal is out. The wingman is shut down. Weeded an opportunity, but misses it. And for Stellar, this is a very difficult 1v2 as shoulders continue to be thrown. You got to try to hold this at least a halfway, and that's no problem for Screwface. 6-2, Nightblood looking comfortable on Corrode.
And that's where the plant spot is the best plant spot for the A site. You don't have to play tucked inside the site where people are pincering on different angles. Think about all the entrances from back hallway, back spawn, A link, A spawn. Like, there's so many angles if you're staying turtled in. By having that plant on the outside, now you could take full control of cutting rotates and also covering spike. That said, there was a little bit of a lack of conversation potentially here on the side of YFP, because that Thrash, he still wanted to come up for that second wave to maybe give you a chance to fight back. But I think Weeded felt like he really wanted that pick. But here's a trap play towards B main.
Oh, shotgun, that'll work. But the trades again. Nightblood so quick to respond when YFP finds some sort of an opener. And a lot of that, again, it kind of just boils down to what you're talking about at the very beginning, where like this extremity side of the map, YFP's trying to assert some dominance, but Nightblood's held back. They got good reactionary focus, and they continue to find themselves in 4v3s in the first 15, 20 seconds.
And that's nothing new coming on the side of YFP, what they tried to do over there, right? When you have the paranoia and concuss, the only thing that was missing, I think maybe it was a seize to continue a little bit deeper to get more value into the shotgun moving down towards that B lane. But that said, you try to lower the amount of utility needed to try to get your picks on an eco that you currently have here, or a mixed buy that you currently have. Save that util potentially for the retake on the site, as Jake falls back here and gives up the space.
Well, Hunter's Fury is out for Screwface, just making sure this plant stays safe from any of those choke points. So crossing T's and dotting I's may be an overinvestment considering it's pistols, but Nightblood really want to get this out of hand and out of control, and so far they're doing that nicely. Thief and Weeded working together, would have contact possibly with Noted first, but the other issue is, again, the ability for possible quick trade if it needs to come through. This time it's not. Noted clean.
And that's why getting the Hunter's Fury out on the attack side for NBG from YSP's perspective, you'll take it any day. Only forcing Jake to swing out here, and he dies, wastes out the ult. Now that's a little bit less to use for your site takes. But if you're looking at how, you know, they're currently playing here for NBG, the reason why I'm saying on paper the composition looks much better for the side of YFP versus NBG is because of playing a Jet here. They talked about it on the desk. There's no really ways to escape when you're playing like a Neon, something like that. You're focused to fight inside the site. Jet is the same thing. It's no Waylay that could TP out. There's no Euro that could TP out. But NBG are not leveraging Son of Car to really dash into sites. They're still staying tight-knit as a group and continuing to split towards this A site.
First blood for Smiley comes through. Ooh, Noted had been seen by Jake. Still comes out and finds the win, man. It's like, what do you do to find a win if you're YFP? It's like you had advantage all over the place. And Nightblood's just shooting right now, man. That's really all I can say.
Like at Son of Car, he had dash procced and just walks into the site. He's not dashing in. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it comes down to these moments with the comp that you have from YFP. Because you have a chamber in your comp, you're allowing yourself, which is totally fine, to push out the way that you can to try to get the first pick because you can TP out. But Thief has lost 3 individual aggressive pushes that way so far in this half. And as soon as he falls down, everything just falls like dominoes.
Well, Smiley holding onto a fragment. That's just going to kill extra time. The fast lane does allow B-Dog to take a different angle. Not dead yet again for Noted, who's had a great half. And how valuable is that return to fruition? Oh, mercy. This continual domination in the last second for NBG. Noted's on 15 through 10 rounds.
Exactly. Who better than Note to win that? Not dead yet to even win that against Stellar towards the end. Redemption from the last little 1v1 they had previously. And he's just farming, definitely. Aura, orbs, ults after ults. And it's plain and simple. You're looking at these fights. There's not real pop flashes, scale up. They're pushing through their own smokes. They're challenging Thief. They're winning fights on extremities. Look, another push. Thankfully, there's a smoke there. And he still gets sprayed through smoke.
Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Also, keep in mind, this is a forced purchase here for YFP. B-Dog right on into the mix, trying for it, but Son of Car responds. We'll keep that again. Opening 15, 20 seconds, and what is it? A 4v3 again to Nightblood.
And they're moving and converging towards A site. They think here that they're getting the pinch, but the spike's left towards that B side. So once the swank comes across and dealt with,
Stay down.
at least Son of Car is there.
Yeah,
Shucks
true.
himself, and his Son of Car is there to help him out. But yeah, they're just knocking down every push from this lower buy that you have from YFP. Now they definitely know that the B site's open for business, and we're gonna have a 9-2 half so far. And this is really just NBG. I'm gonna have to keep repeating myself because I am gonna be like Dan Dried, as she doesn't like Waylay. I like Waylay, but I'm also a Jet hater on this map. But it works out very well for Nightblood Gaming, just because they're winning all these good fights.
Well, I think about the other side of this, fans. It's like, it's not only that they win in the fights, but there's an information advantage for Nightblood here. There's no real way for YFP to guarantee intel, whereas Screwface is just throwing in a recon dart and null drone, and then you flash and dash. It's just, it feels a little too free right now. Like, there's just not enough contest unless Stellar's in the right spot to throw something to counter. But I don't know. It feels like YFP is just lacking information, and their ability. Well, I guess I won't even say ability, but the authority they're trying to establish on the outsides of the map has not panned out either.
To be fair, I think for Fade is probably one of the best initiators you're gonna have on this map. But the way that you're currently playing it doesn't really bring the best value to the information that you're trying to gather. If you're looking at like easy lineups you could throw from like B main to like try to get on top of middle. And the things they could do to try to find information without throwing their lives away. What if we just went for an instant prowler out towards B main? Now you'll know at least there's going to be some pressure on that side. If there is, maybe that's the call. Okay, maybe we don't want to overextend yet over on the A side yet, or we could because we got information on the B side, or vice versa. If the prowler doesn't see anybody, you don't have to push towards the A side. That's what I meant. So they're not really using the utility to the best of their advantage for YFP side to get that value.
Can't use that.
Oh, gets knife too. Can't even prowler.
Oh, but Jake with the shutdown. Noted. Well, he's mixed between two different members. And that's going to be for the first time in a long time. YFP with numbers now. 3v5. A lot of focus still at mid-map. A little bit of a balancing act here from Jake. Flash allows Screwface to get towards stairs. Follow up, that's the end of the utility. And well, you just don't figure that these trades are going to come away convincingly for Nightblood. Even though Wingman getting involved. But just on to Screwface, 1v3 Prowler scouts him out. Here should be the double peek from this point on. Nice little shock dart to get a little bit of damage on the We Did, but 50 seconds. Yeah, Stellar's going to keep chasing it. Well, the 9-3 half. Any cursors in chat?
I don't know. At this point, it seems like NBG cannot really lose this map so far with the way they've been out-aiming YFP. That previous round was won by YFP simply because the game plan worked, because their players actually landed shots. Thief finally contested on that side towards the A-link, gets that pick. Even set up for a crossfire with Jake. That's that first pick. The second one gets contested. Now they delay enough for the rotate to come across, especially with the Nightfall. So it all works out in the end when you're landing your shots. And that's the name of the game as well for YFP's composition on that defense. Hopefully now things have changed around here on the attack side. You're seeing how Thief is currently setting up. He's trying to watch his trip towards this A side. He's going to look and contest towards middle and could TP out while the rest are leaning towards his B pressure.
Whoa. There's a little early indication of what's going on for YFP. Focus on to B, walk down at mid, recon dart. Anyone gonna hold on to this? Ooh, Jake's able to get one as there's utility in hand for Kumi, but we'll stay 4v4. NBG trying to respond to some of this pressure. Now B-Dog makes his way onto site, but Screwface gets one by dart, one by ghost. It's just, can't do anything wrong, it feels like. Can Nightblood until Thief just takes a little bit of a wide peek and connects with the Headhunter.
Player standing.
Follow up, though, going to be difficult to assume. And it'll be a pistol to NBG, who should be looking good for a pretty significant advantage of that pistol win.
Yeah, definitely. Not even a plant, too, so they can't even go for a stinger buy if they wanted to for the side of YFP. So now it's the gamble. Do you want to try to go for some sort of a full save so you could have the best weapons as possible? Because you know for a fact Son of Car is going to come out with an outlaw within this round, within the next round. You need your full shields. So you're keeping the economy super low. Barely any investments coming through except for Jakey with the Sheriff.
Oh, shot for Son of Car is good. Kumi there to follow up. Quick response, though, as B-Dog just sprints into the fold. But from there, where do you go? Son of Car just kind of dancing inside the dark cover. Help is on the way. And actually, Son of Car is going to be in a good spot. Possibly even follow up with one more here. Small shoulder, easy to find the kill into Jake. And YFP will be stuck at elbow.
One enemy remaining.
That's all she wrote. B-Dog got 1 HP surviving in the first place when he traded out his teammate at the corner, bottom elbow. But now I really want to go and look to see what this buy is going to be. Yeah, exactly. Jakey invested into a Sheriff that previous round, and that should have been not an investment that came through on his side. They need his paranoia. He needs his shield to play against the Outlaw as well. They're not putting himself in a favorable position here on the attack side now for YFP. Okay, he has it. So he's going to go for Guardian instead, but it's Guardian with still regen shield. Only one person moving forward on the attack side. That's going to be We Did to try to bait out any type of trap plays.
Now here comes a forced play. Fragment involved. YFP find the first. Smiley can't get away from B-Dog either, and Screwface just not quite able to find the timing, and wouldn't you know it, YFP just able to peek and take care of him quickly. So should be looking good here for 4. This is a bonus after all for NBG, just trying to make it punishing. And Son of Car is in the mix, and whoa, that right click. Little ADS foul, the Bulldog almost works, but not gonna happen. 11-4, YFP hold on to 4 rifles.
Yeah, we're slightly overzealous there on the side of YFP to have Note go into his smoke with a Guardian to try to prevent a push over on that B site from YFP. But thankfully here, they stopped the bleeding, at least for now. For YFP's end on the attack side, now we're pretty even balanced. Another round coming in for YFP would put them in a comfortable spot here on the attack, but we talk about a half here on the attack that really leaned towards the side of Nightblood Gaming. Mind you, YFP could do a very similar thing here on their attack side as well. Continuing to push and pull the way that they are for both of these teams. I mean, you're seeing how NBG are so mobile around the map. Again, because of a lack of Senti, you're going to have to like really guess and rely here on the info and utility from initiators. Especially with the dart missing, this is a huge advantage for YFP to scale up.
Kumi, yeah, I was going to say, you just need to stay alive here. Paranoia, dark cover, that'll allow YFP to move forward. Oh, that's just, some days you just get the blessings. And that's the definition of it. I mean, you're spamming through a Prowler, you find 2. B-Dog keeps the play up and running, though. To a 2v3. Noted did what they needed to do, but still a chance for YFP to get 5.
Son of Car's on the big flank here, and I love that he doesn't want to overextend into A-Link in case YFP rotates on that side because they cut noise. They're waiting for the wingman to come back up to go for the plant. It's a bad plant now for YFP inside the site. Both players have to stay committed within.
Well, here we go. Screwface.
Last player standing.
Whoa! Timing of that was unbelievable for B-Dog. Now the finger guns are out, and Neon just continues to do Neon things.
What are we doing, though?
I don't know.
Smiley's underhanding, flashing for himself to move through instead of waiting for his teammate Screwface to meet up with them so they could maybe try to double swing with it. And then Screwface is walking knife out just to try to time out the Neon wall. And he gets caught off a slide, knife in hand, picked off, and you just gave away your lives. That is something you kind of want to take back here for NBG, because remind you, yes, it was very dominant for Nightblood Gaming in the first half. But if YFP starts building up this momentum here, the story's going to change.
Sonakar whiffs on the nines, and an opportunity just kind of missed there. Good relay. B-Dog just running it down. Kumi trying to hold this angle best as possible, but yeah, you already see what's about to happen.
Last player standing.
That's what's about to happen. So, just pistols. You missed an opportunity with the knife. Smiley, maybe. Good flash.
Oh my
Good
God, that was a
follow-up, but
sick
Jake's
shot,
on the
though.
corner to find the opposite angle. So YFP get to 6. Nightblood sweating a little bit.
Oh, that was a sick shot, though, by Smiley. A little bit of a redemption from the last time, too. But yeah, definitely. The economy is good enough to finally get an operator out for Nightblood Gaming with its glass cannon. Thankfully, still has a full kit around it outside of the armor. Let's look at that replay again. I mean, this was very similar looks to what we were trying to do previously from YFP's end on defense. Just try to go for the trap play and get value off the knives. But the counter Dizzy was really good.
Knife reveal, son of car. Aggressive peek with the operator. That works. Now you take your focus back to mid. Noted playing in a corner. There are members nearby on the deeper side of mid to maybe pull the focus away from this initial angle. Is there a sprint up from B-Dog? No, doesn't need it. Oh, Screwface gets stuck trying to jump peek the corner. Oh, God. Kumi provides the response, though. We get back level to a 2v2.
Right? A little bit of a DM coming in from both sides. And yeah, definitely with Kyle getting caught off. Sorry. Screwface getting caught off. But still a winnable position here for Nightblood Gaming. Paranoia avoided. Smiley still has full utility for the retake.
Well, there's some of it, and we're just not clearing the corners. What is happening to Nightblood? I mean, to be fair, like, kind of like we were talking about, there was a handful of rounds where Nightblood just hit shots through smokes, and it's just like, well, what do you do? Like, YFP just wasn't able to really play the game, it felt like, for a while. Now, they're starting to cook. And you never know. Like, this is starting to look very, very favorable in terms of how YFP is setting up their attack. They're dealing with Nightblood in these opening aggressive plays. They've continued to go to this buy-sell or buy-saves, kind of cycle. And, I mean, it's comfortable with the ultimates that are available right now for YFP, too, in case things get mixy.
You're definitely seeing that a map like Corrode is starting to favor the attack side a little bit more. You're forcing yourselves to play for trap plays on B, mid control. But as soon as you lose like one player that's a little bit so far extended out, the defensive line is very, very thin. Nice kind of paranoia.
Yep. Fast lane still gets YFP forward, and Nightblood just cannot hang with the weapons that they brought to battle. So, looking like it could be a flawless, and it will be. YFP all of a sudden down 3. And, well, this next round for Nightblood, I don't want to say it's a must-win, but they've got the right tools to give themselves a chance here. You know, the No Command, the Hunter's Fury, both good opportunities to stop anything like a Nightfall execute.
Yeah. And for YFP side, if it's not for any pressure coming out from NBG walking into their crosshair towards B site, you're starting to see that their playstyle is a lot more slower. Just because they want to figure out where the recon dart's coming from, where the knife's hitting from. So, or they get hit by the information, or they don't, and they're able to work the map after, because as NBG start for information, they're starting to move up and trying to fight. And as you're staying as a group here for YFP, you're able to trade out perfectly. Weedit's always letting himself getting hit by the knife, but this is also always false information. So at least this time around, I think after round number 20, you should be ready here for Nightblood Gaming and should expect a re-hit.
There's the Nightfall. Null Command. Smiley hasn't used it yet. Hunter's Fury first, then the Null Command after. There's one tag for Screwface. It does find B-Dog, who could not sprint away because, again, of the Null Command. So great stuff there in terms of how you combine those. Son of Car also connects. Nightblood, 5v3, looking good. Trying to get to 12. Son of Car knows he's got to try to hold the battle and hold this angle and misses the shot. So chance for YFP to get the plant and set themselves up here.
Plant is deep again, so they can't really play on the outside of the site. So Nightblood Gaming actually has a small window to scale back from the spawn.
Deploying drone.
Aldrone does see Thief, but Stellar's hearing all of these footsteps. Is anyone going to watch for this? Sweden pulls the focus. Here comes the opportunity maybe for Stellar.
Player standing.
Oh, he's holds. Doesn't actually get into the fold on this. So now you're stuck in a crossfire. Gets the first.
One enemy remaining.
Gets the second. Noted trying to hang and pulls off just in time. The shorty was going to be good, you'd think, but Nightblood get away with one, and they're now on map point.
Another 1v1 at the spike between Note and Stellar. Odin Salvage moved into the next round, but all of that stall was perfect. On that end, you called it perfectly as well, Shift. The double combination not giving a chance here for B-Dog to really escape. And when Noted needed to land those shots, or sorry, when Son of Car needed to land that type of shot like Thief did towards that A connector to stall and drop players, he did exactly that and gave a winning chance there for Nightblood Gaming and a beautiful retake towards the end. Just brute forcing and disrespecting the utility on the pulse plan from YFP. Knife is getting more though. I think I heard 3 pings out of that one.
Well, you hear the spam from Screwface. That's going to be a threat that YFP will need to respect, especially with them starting to move down mid. Screwface, do you still want to try to peek with this? Aldrone is out. Prowler coming through quickly. There's one on the tag. Son of Car holding the angle. Keeps A link safe. Doesn't get hit by the paranoia, but dashes away anyways. Actually, dashes into the paranoia. So back onto site they go. But look at this route from Nightblood around the back. We have not seen this yet, Vans. And we did his turn for it, but cannot find the kill.
Now you know it's guaranteed hit towards A side. Good stall by Kumi with the flash. Now you got to play soft site.
Son of Car affected, but still finds one. Kumi
remaining.
provides the trade. And with that follow-up from Smiley, it is just down to Thief. Trying to hang a little longer in the map, but here come all the troops, and Noted will finish it off. It took a while from an 8-2 count to 13-8. Nightblood take their map and have an edge in the series now, trying to get, again, into this do-or-die match to map 2.
Yeah, very nice there on that previous round for Nightblood Gaming in terms of leveraging, again, initiator utility to be very mobile around the map. Not only does the recon dart being thrown on the top middle at the bottom mid gets instantly broken, and he threw a flash over from B main. When that recon dart gets instantly broken, it's a call.